Okay, no, okay. What app are you on?
Um,
Stay on this phone or go to the app?
I'm using this phone will be where we're recording from, and
Can you not do? Can you not do video? Can you not
I
do
can't.
video
We've
on the
already,
phone?
and we're live now.
Okay.
So
All right.
podcasts are sort of taking the world over when it comes to
Yeah.
how people communicate and where you get tips and tricks for, I mean, the gym, food, shopping, household stuff. Like, it's everything. There's a podcast about it. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. Like, what direction I'm going to
Okay.
go in with
I
this.
got the background. Hey, Christy, I'll call you back.
Just getting off the phone there is my pops. I'll let him introduce himself to you guys. He's like my mentor. He's my guru. I take all my questions to him, and sometimes we laugh, sometimes we fight, but he's a man I respect.
No, well, we have to. No, the fighting, all that you said, all that, and it has to be. If someone tells we didn't never had a fight, we had never had a discussion, why the fuck are you lying? Okay, and if you're not doing all that, well then you're not having the full this whole spectrum. I want you spectrum.
Yeah, you're not experiencing the fullness of what a relationship can be, right?
Right, the fullness. Yeah, you only know part of that person, and when you get to know what he does in his underwear and what he does at the pulpit, you get a little better. You get it better.
100%, I believe that. Okay. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I just lost sound for a second. Oh, there you are. Sorry. Well, that's a technical. See, this technical stuff isn't me. Something in the house is Bluetooth. Just tried to connect to the phone that I was using. So we're just going to roll with it. Pops, you there?
This is all about is getting through those things.
Life's like that, right?
So tell me how you found us out how to do this speaker thing.
So, my friend Tommy, you met Tom. One day spent hours with a whole bunch of stuff I didn't understand. It was microphones and cords and cables. But anyway, what he was doing, because I freestyle, is he was making me a studio-ready microphone out of stuff around the house. But in the process, he showed me how to loop splitter cables together into two phones so that one could be like a virtual recording studio you could take with you anywhere. And so that's all fine and dandy until we keep changing our auxiliary inputs and our 30-pin dock connectors and all this stuff. So now you've got to have 15 adapters to go with. And I think some of the quality gets lost through all those connections. Because, you can get one for $3 at the store, but a good one is going to cost you $12.
Huh? Yeah.
So, but yeah, podcasts, I mean, you're the reason I started doing podcasts, or that I want to do podcasts, because you've always told me I would.
For like, how many years have we been talking about this? How many years have I been talking about this?
A minimum of 4, but at best
and
6.
We have tried every little thing, and then we'll run off, and one of us will get high. I'm not lying about that. And then when we regroup, and because once we did that, our lives got changed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So, and Alex, I referred to you as my comment. Haley's comment. I didn't want to use the word Haley's, because, but you would go off there, pass her, and go off. And I just see just a tail left, and tail the light, and you can see it, I can see it, and then it just disappeared.
Boom. Yeah.
So I had to wait, and I'm gonna look in the direction that you left in, but you never came back that way. I had to look at another direction, like he'll be coming in from this way. Well, sometimes I was right, sometimes I went wrong.
Well, it's always a little different than when it started.
It was an experience that I would never get to experience. I'd never get to tell a story about it. Because I stayed at home. I was the home base, home flyer. Kept it going.
I remember you always told me that I had to keep going so that you could experience life through my travels.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was a cheap ticket way out of like not having to go through all the bullshit I went through in life. Information and experience, right? So if you told me about it, chances are I was going to find myself experiencing it anyway, just to make sure that you had all the facts right.
Right.
You know, because you can't believe 15 million people that have come before you. You know, if you do this, it's going to hurt. Well, I guess I like pain because I needed to feel the hurt before I could walk away from anything you told me that I shouldn't do.
Yeah, the extreme, you know, one way and extreme the other way. You got to know what they are to respect them.
Is that stove really hot?
Yeah, and every time they touch it, you know, at one point in your life, whatever it is, and unless grandma said no, even when grandma said no, you still like, I want to test that.
Yeah.
And you know, and burn yourself. So that's the only way you're going to know.
Yeah.
And so, and then the preacher had ice in it.
Mm.
Well, that was a pretty quick learning experience for a kid.
Oh, for sure.
Mine was the iron. The iron. Don't touch the iron. Don't touch the iron. So I touched it. I had to.
Yep. Why they keep telling me not to do this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those are what we call healthy fears. But I don't like to call them fears. Fears is a word that we made up, and it's done such a horrible job. You know, we react to a stimuli, and that's the heat, right? We recoil, we reject, we don't accept the heat. But fear is what was put in the places. Now we're afraid of that. So now with fear comes a whole cacophony of BS. Like when it comes to like self-advancement and self-worth and things like that. There's all this stuff we have to be concerned about. You know, is that too hot? Is that too cold? Am I going too fast? Yeah. Should I not do this? Should I not do that? Am I good enough to do that? And it's slowly built into something else.
From fear to what?
Fear, and now it's insecurity, you know, and then from there it's I don't want to say being lazy, but sloth kind of takes over, right? Because if I'm not good enough, I'm not going to try. And if I don't try, I'm not doing. And so at some point I stopped being who I was going to be. And we, I think, as people become our situation. And one thing I'd like for this podcast to touch on over and over throughout the years is that we are bigger than our situation. And our situation does not define us. And I am proof of that. But I think you are too, you know? Right.
But the hot and cold, and you said it would it puts fear in us. Now that we know it's hot, we're afraid to touch it. I don't. As we get older, you can't fear iron. You can't fear a stove because you gotta know your limitations of it. You gotta know how close you can get to it.
Right.
How close does it take for me to get burned? And so it teaches you your limitations. It teaches you how far can I go? And of course you apply that. You plug that into anything in life, the iron or how fast can you run? How deep can you dive?
Mm-hmm. How much can you lift?
You can't fear diving. Yeah. You gotta see how far down you can go before your lungs start to ache, and you got so much time to get to the surface to get that air back in.
And boy, you better get. Yeah.
Yeah. And I missed the mark a couple times where I took in a big gulp of water and it broke the surface of the water. And there was my father, my dad. My dad, he was like, to me, it looked like he was like 30 feet from where I was at. But I seen him spring off that beach and straight in the air and land right beside me. And, I mean, I felt his hand on my shoulder pull me up out of the water.
Wow.
And so he knew my limitations, too, because he had an eye on me. I think he was counting 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. Where's that boy? 4, 5. Where's that boy at? And I broke the surface, you know. But when I got to the beach, I crying, you know. I crying, not crying because I was afraid, but I was pissed off.
Yeah.
I didn't get that mark just right. And then if I didn't see him crying. And I thought, what's that all about? Didn't say anything. I never had said anything, never asked. And he's gone now, but... So he had a fear, too. He had to let me experience it, and I'm glad he was there.
Absolutely.
We experienced it together. But anyway, so we broke on that one because I'm a crier, damn it, and I will do that.
The waterworks will start to flow anytime I'm around someone who's sincerely crying, and they feel what it is they're feeling, whether it's good or bad. I resonate with that, and I pick up on whatever frequency that's on, and I'll be right along with them. It'll be rivers of tears, just because, and I don't think we know that that's okay anymore. As a whole, I think people are afraid of tears. They're afraid of pain. They're afraid of emotions. And I love it when somebody around me is just ball hall squalling, snot nose crying, we call it growing up. I'm right down in the floor with them, like, let's cry this out. Because the relief and the neurotransmitters and the brain chemicals that are released from crying are great for you in that situation, for relieving stress, for I think even oxytocin might be released a little bit, and that's a love chemical. So if crying makes it, we could be onto something there. That's another topic. If that's true, if crying makes you feel oxytocin, then no wonder people are crazy in love.
Well, you're absolutely right, though. Our body holds those chemicals in us, and to get rid of them and replenish is a good thing.
Yeah, we have to. That's if we don't use what we have within us.
I'm feeling uncomfortable.
Yet we continue to add things from outside of us to try to fix that. We're backwards, but it's okay because I guess that's what the rear view's for. I'm not sure. I sort of lost the thought I had on that.
Good name for a movie.
Yeah, it is. How was the weather?
Man, goodness. Yesterday morning, it was a little cloudy. And the TV station said it might snow. I swear to God, Jimmy was at the window waiting for that snowfall to fly across the window. So we had to load up in the car and go to Kroger. And we didn't get there in time.
Oh.
Apparently it started snowing on the southern end of town before it did this side of town, and they've already wiped out the bread.
Oh, but it did snow.
That one flake.
Oh, snap.
That was it.
That all you got to do.
Well, now we got, look at all these bread products we got.
If they just hear that it's coming, we're packing up, getting ready. Get the ice chest. We got a generator at the house, boy. You better load up because we got to get enough firewood for it, Dad. It's only going to snow for half a day. Yep. Man, those are the things you miss as a kid, but you didn't know you missed them then. All that hard work, cutting the firewood, getting it ready. Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jimmy. He came into the room.
You're absolutely fine.
Yeah. So we took care of that. As a kid, talking about kids and snow.
Talking about the snow, and then we had to get firewood ready. We had to make sure that the barn was logged. We had to just secure the farm basically, and that was
I respect that.
Some of the most.
I'm glad I'm a city kid. I was a city kid.
Yeah, it's I like growing up on the farm. I like the time that I did get to spend there because there's a part of America that I say America. There's a part of culture that is being lost, that's dying slowly, and it is that work ethic that comes from slinging a hammer and picking up a shovel, knowing what a T-post tamper is, post hole diggers.
What it is?
If you've ever had your hands raw from post hole diggers because you put up 40 cross ties, then you know what I'm talking about. And then you got to string the barbed wire, and then all the hay's got to come in, and it's going in the top loft because we're not done with the bottom yet.
I don't know what farm work's like. Oil field. My daddy had an oil field company, and I started roughnecking when I was 14. Not because I had to, because I wanted to. I wanted to, and I started in the winter in Texas Panhandle. And when they rolled up the sidewalks, brought the trees in, and because this is going to be frost for a little bit, and I learned in summertime. It's fucking cold in the wintertime. And summer is fucking hot in the summertime. And it's just that was. There's no happy medium. And the wind blew all day, every fucking day.
All day.
And that's what I learned. My daddy instilled work
Yeah.
inside me.
You know, my Brad, my father, he was partners in an oil refining business in his early 20s, and run checked oil rigs all day. We had a couple farms, and I remember very little of that back then. But I just remember that, mom had a new car in the driveway every year, and we had this huge house, and I didn't know why life was great, but it's because Dad had some oil money and he worked as a riverboat captain. So he was gone a lot. But when he was
Captain?
Yeah, he was a riverboat captain for I won't say the companies, but 2 different companies up and down the Mississippi River, and pushing barges. Started out as a deckhand, worked his way up. But he had a medical condition develop, and that's actually why he had to retire at like age 40 something. So that's why we were doing so much farm work, because Dad was about to go stir shit crazy, not doing nothing, not being able to be on the boats. They took his life from him. But he dealt with it in his own way. But yeah, he the one thing that he would always tell any of his drinking buddies was, that boy right there, boy, you get him on a job, he ain't gonna quit till it's done. And I think he drilled that in me so much that it was true, that there have been times that I haven't started stuff because I knew that I was going to have to finish it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to be a kid and to hear that, it made that will to make him proud even bigger.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, I'm tough,
Daddy does that. He did that to me too when I was a kid. Boy, look at that. That's my son right there. That's my boy.
Yeah.
And the other man would always give compliments because that was his son.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, I think that's a hard worker there. I don't know if they meant it or whatever. But stroking my ego was the best feeling, and to know, not knowing it was ego or not knowing what was making me feel good. I feel empowered.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Invincible. Taller. I walked a little taller. My voice got deeper.
You got that strut going. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that going on. And then we found out later on it was ego. Now, that shit there.
Yeah, it's a motherfucker.
Whole different ballgame.
Yes, sirree. I'm telling you.
The difference.
But everything that we do, right, on some level, is...
Well, it was. It depends on how you... It depends on how bad your ego wanted you to fail. Your ego does not want you to succeed. It does not want anything that's glorified to your religion, which is supposed to be positive. No, but he will allow, your ego will let you, and I say he because I'm talking about to a man, you, so we'll say ego is a he.
Okay.
He will allow you to feel good. He will allow you to reach goals and milestones, and year after year, and then one night or one event, take it all away from you.
Every bit of it.
Put you back in whatever place that you're supposed to be. It's all imagination anyway.
Huh.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh. You just made me think about some things.
That's like one of those this program you got going here, the app. You can do it for 8 hours, or you can do it for 16. That's one of them 16-hour ones. You're gonna have to bring coffee, a sleeping bag, a lunch, and someone to run errands for you.
And it will be broken down into 18 individual 30-minute podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird that you mentioned sloth. I was talking to a gentleman about what's going on with oh God, here I go, Trump. And I don't know, just real quickly, Trump.
Yeah,
and,
real fast.
He talked about the seven deadly sins.
Right.
Rattled them off. And what was going on at the House. And damn, if you take the representatives and what they were talking about with this impeachment, what they were trying to pin Trump to get the indictment was seven deadly sins. The seven deadly sins. It's like, wow. Even today, they bring up that. Wow. Anyway,
so they went biblical on him.
And what do you think that pertained to President Trump?
As far as sloth?
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, how would sloth particularly? Oh, you got me on Trump. See, I'm so out of it. I don't even
No,
look
not
that.
Trump, but this sloth.
Oh,
Well, Trump and sloth. Trump and sloth. What is the sloth in Trump that they are talking about?
um, well, sluggish, maybe like sluggish to make policy and to make change and to do any of the things that he said that he was going to do when he got in there, as far as like healthcare and all that other stuff. You mean like dragging his
Well,
feet?
yeah. Well, those platforms are dragging their feet because he is doing what he says to certain things, and he'll get to it and he will accomplish it. But he's, like it's his ego now.
Mm.
You got me in here. You told me to do this and that, and there was no limitations. And he said, I checked. I looked in the book. I had no limitations. I had the power to do this. And now he's doing what most of the senators and most of the people that got him in that office. And now, oh, fuck. He did what? He did it. And go, oh, shit. Now, we didn't expect that. It's Trump. And he's got an ego bigger than the fucking world. Of course he's going to do that. He's making it happen, but he's making his ego going to fucking buffet.
Speaking of food,
Oh, God, what did you have today?
well, there's actually I cheated a little bit today. I had a Marie Callender's microwavable pasta
Are you
dish
so gay?
this afternoon. It was in the fridge, so I ate it. But yesterday I made salmon. Salmon with rice and blackened corn and grilled mushrooms and peppers. Yeah, and I just did
That's
lemon
good.
pepper on the salmon and quickly heated it on both sides for 5 minutes on each side in a skillet, and then I set it on top of that bed of rice and all them other fixings. And it wasn't as good as you would get out at a restaurant, but I also have very limited seasonings in the kitchen, and I was just hungry. So for me,
What seasonings were you looking for? Are you killing that salmon with seasonings?
No, just basically salt and pepper and lemon is all I did on this one. But I needed more seasonings for my other stuff. Like I didn't have any blackened seasonings for the corn. And generally I just like to, I'm cheap. Tony Sachery's is good for me. A dash. Mrs. Dash would have worked. Just a little bit of flavor.
I like Dash.
So yeah, that. But I eat to live. I don't live to eat. So, that's a slogan I've gone by for a while. Amy Hudson, a trainer that I worked with at LRAC, she would always say that. She said, "Now, Alex, we don't eat to live. I mean, we don't live to eat. We eat to live." And I was like, okay, I can vibe with that.
That's simple.
So that will work for any time I don't have enough money to go anywhere. I tell people I eat to live. I'm not living to eat.
What does it take to sustain your life?
Right. A couple pieces of white bread and some lunch meat. A few times a day when I was growing up. When I was a kid, I'd eat all the time. But now, I need protein. I need vegetables. Basically, I just think about the rainbow. If it's colorful, I need to eat it. If it's not, then I'm not missing too much. If it's sugar, I should, pay attention to it. And milk, I'm sorry, just about at age 32, my body and dairy said, we're not doing this anymore. Our relationship is over, and I'm leaving you. And
the relationship was over when you get off the titty. The human body does not need that shit.
Right. Well, there's 1/5 of the population has actually developed the enzyme naturally and now they can process it. But that's through how many years of Gregor Mendel's Punnett square, like working out recessive dominant, and it's a mutation or survival of evolution. But we shouldn't have to evolve to something that we never needed, and that can be a blanket over a lot of things. Milk.
Do you think we're through evolving?
No, I think there are parts of us that are changing every day that we can't even see. But no, I don't think we're through. I don't think some of us are through evolving. I think that there will be, obviously, evolution leaves some behind. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
So
there's 10,000 Gentiles, 10,000 these, 10,000 those, and the Bible said then the times are coming.
yeah. Well, and I did a freestyle the other day, and part of it was this. It doesn't matter now because you wrote it down, and that's the law of attraction. When I manifest it, when I put it out into the universe, I will get it back, and I'll get it how I wanted it. But it's also going to look how it wants to, so I don't get to choose. But if I write it down and I focus on it hard enough, especially just think if you get the masses to focus on the same thing hard enough, like, yeah, that should have come true on accident.
On what end?
On accident, it'll come true if you've got that many people, reading and believing. And that goes across any book. That's, Tolkien's books, that's Lord of the Rings, any of those. If people believed in those books like they do religion, oops, I said the word, then there would, some people do. I mean, there's fanatics and everything, but I'm all about a relationship. Not a religion.
Yeah.
And that relationship is built through people because the God that's in me, and I say God because that's the word that we made. The God that lives in me is the same one that lives in everyone else. I mean, however I describe it is my own, and that's my right, and I get to have that. And you also. And my favorite word, and I love that we've said it since day one, is namaste. The light in me recognizes the light in you. And though those two lights may not be in the same place, if I am in mine and you are in yours, then in the same place we are still. And, basically to break it down, you go your way, I'll go mine. Believe what you want. Don't bother me. And I won't bother you. And we can coexist. And we've forgotten how to coexist in this world. As much as we preach for activism and rights and equality, and that's not coexisting.
Right. I know. Yeah. Why do people have a problem with coexisting?
People don't. They think that's what they want, but what they want is actually creating the separation.
Yeah. Drawing the line in the sand.
Yeah, like you've got to accept me. What, girl, boy, we accepted you already. You were accepted before you started the commotion. And I know there's a few hate crimes, or they wouldn't be hate crimes if there wasn't such a dissonance between, this is me, this is who I am. Well, just be you, but don't scream about it. Nobody really is going to benefit from it at the end of the day, except for you and whoever you're sleeping with, and that should be between y'all anyway.
4 years ago, in the United States, I mean, when Obama was elected, the United States that year was named the country who was offended by everything. That was by Times Magazine. We were offended by everything. There were more flags being invented that year. Yeah, the gay flag, of course. Now, and I'm tired, and we were tired then, and we were tired 4 years before on that year, and they said, we're queer, we're here. God fuck down. Woo, we are tired of that shit.
All I hear
we're
is,
over you.
All I hear you saying
we're
is
on
that
something else now.
You're strange. What? That's you're weird. That's the word.
Well, okay, get in the back of the bus. Ooh, back of the bus, and don't.
Hey, yo, what's that fuss? Everybody move to the.
He's drinking from the water fountain. Oh, fuck, which one?
Oh, the one with water in it. That's all you need to know.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah. I like my water wet. I don't care where it comes from. Let that mud settle a little bit, and I'll drink it out the top of that horse hoof.
Yeah. Can you believe that was an issue, though?
Right.
Human being.
Mm-hmm.
What fountain you could drink of? What part of this bus you could sit on? Did you take a bus or not? Did you walk? What side of town were you on? What side of the tracks?
And
man,
how cool to be in Little Rock, Arkansas, the very birthplace of
right here.
A change. The 9. And it's you don't realize how much history Arkansas has. You
don't realize how many people are trying to get rid of that history. They don't want that. They want, you get a sign that says, this is where it was. We don't want no visitors. We want to forget it. And then you got a few people who's like, hell no, they're still out there. Black power. Black power is like,
Forgetting it would be the best thing that could happen to us for what it would mean for people, is that they've gotten over it. But we can't forget it because we can't let it die. We can't forget that one day things were different. Well, that's how they're not going to ever be different now. It's because we've got to let the old past die. My friend Jeff just got a tattoo, and it says, "Your new life is only going to cost you all of your old one."
Exactly.
So
that's exactly. I like that. You have once a generation is gone, when the baby boomers are gone, the last one passes away, the world will change right then. Yep. We're going to accept new things, but that last one has got to be the fuck out of the picture. And you got to stop teaching your great-grandchildren. You got to stop. Don't let great-grandma have that child. Let her see him, but don't put them in a room together. Because when she instills a little bit of what she experienced, he will remember it and what Grandma said, and there you go. It lives on.
Yep, and he'll have a Jiminy Cricket, in his pocket.
Oh, yeah.
Let your conscience
don't
be
forget.
Your dad.
You got to remember where your that roots. I'm going to say roots. That series where your roots are. Boy, that was a hell of a series. But forever, and we watched every episode. But I understand that. Don't forget, but don't do what they did to get here. Well, but you got the extremists on either side. It's opinions are going to be formed. Opinions are going to be fought for, and to get people to understand it. And we're forgetting today. Well, but what about today? We let today live, and do we have to live in the past? You know my past.
Yeah.
You can read about it, but leave me out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But anyway.
You know what my daddy said about opinions?
I don't know in North Carolina, but here, this is a market strategy here. Sam's or Walmart has a supercenter almost any fuck where, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they did that to get the 24-hour shoppers. But now they're shutting them down because they finally realized, look at the power grid that just Walmart causes, that it uses, and they get 3 fucking customers a night. The same ones.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great time for you stocking and get things moved around. And Walmart found that we could do all that in 4 hours.
And those people are just going to the clearance aisle. They're not going to buy anything.
Yeah.
They're sticking it in their pockets.
Your product's walking out the back door, your employees packing their cars, and, like, that's what's on your product.
Yeah.
So they're shutting the stores down here. Between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m., there ain't fuck shit open. So we have to relearn. We better do our shopping in the daytime now.
Right.
If you want cigarettes, there's only one convenience store open on Southwest, because they got together. Like, look, we got safety power, we got to be green, and we got to be conservative, and we got to show we're doing our part. So which convenience store is going to be open 24 hours? And that's how they picked the Mexicans. they kept theirs open.
Oh, wow.
So that's on Southwest. There's one here, the site on Cantrell.
The site, yep.
And now North Little Rock, they're not like, fuck you. We're open.
Yeah.
So you got North Little Rock.
Well, yeah, North Little Rock's that's it, because after that you got Sherwood, and Sherwood ain't shit popping.
Sherwood ain't nothing open. At 6 a.m. you'd be luckiest. The manager woke up like, I don't think I'm going into that.
There is a 24-hour Walgreens.
Until 7 a.m.
there is a 24-hour Walgreens out there, though.
Well, okay, now Walgreens is owned by CVS. Okay, the husband and wife thing. She owns CVS and he owns Walgreens. Now, guess who just got a mistress last year?
Oh.
He did. She filed for divorce. Did you know, I didn't know this pattern either, where you see a CVS, within sight distance, you will see a Walgreens.
On the corner of Happy and Healthy.
Yeah. So, the reason they did that is that after the divorce, it's called the property, community property, I forgot what the term was. If she could see his property, she obtains it.
Oh.
Yes. So
all right, sneaky woman.
She would get all the Walgreens. She'd have all the CVS's, and he's got $300 billion in his pocket. Fuck you, bitch! I'm taking my mistress. I'm going home.
Oh, wow.
I don't have to work no more. So that's
I love
happening
it.
here in Arkansas.
You know what? That literally that calls for one of these.
Yeah, she was using her fucking head, but they both win. He got a 28-year-old. He's 63.
Oh, wow.
Well, good job, good job. So the reason I brought all this up is I love you. I gotta get my ass to Kroger before midnight.
All right. Well, we'll figure out this schedule, and I look forward to another one. Thank you, Pops.
I love you, but okay.
I love you. Namaste.
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 Hey, shut this off.